Okay. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, the shotgun's been nerfed. Hey guys, what's going on? X here. We're going to break down the Season 2 Reloaded patch notes, and I'm super excited to go over these things. There's lots of great changes, like the bomb drone. Get the hell out of here. We got changes to the RAL, we got changes to the Xcision, we got changes to the shotgun, thank God. So yeah, so let's get right into it. Let's break this down, and let me kind of, give you my opinions on what I feel like is going to change in terms of the meta, what's going to become meta, what's going to stay meta, pretty much anything that's meta-based, and also, just quality of life changes. Hopefully we have some really nice ones here. So starting off, we have weapon balancing. I am going to be skipping the nitty and gritty here, guys. With weapon balancing, we have some pretty interesting things. The minimum damage against armor has been added to a few guns, that's kind of, a questionable stat for me personally. I feel like there doesn't need to be minimum damage against armor. It should just be flat damage, they're armored or not, kind of like, treat it like health. But that's my opinion on that. So, that's probably going to nerf the STB a little bit. It says limit bullets to kill at furthest range. So, but the STB 556 is not a gun that's often used, so I'm not too worried about it. Now, the interesting thing here, the RAL actually got nerfed far, but got buffed close. I did experiment a little bit last night with a close quarters build on the RAL, using the collapsible stock, the 50-round belt. And, oh God, guys, we may be coming up with a meta. We just may be. RPK, a little bit more nerfs on that, muzzle velocity, walking speed. I don't understand why they keep nerfing it. I think it's nerfed enough. The Xcision damage range, I used it. I didn't really feel it too much, so I'm not too sure if that's a massive change or not until the guys with the numbers come out, and then we see their videos and we see, after testing if it's really, that much nerfed. Crossbow, challenge buff, who cares about that? MX9, interesting mid-damage range. Bass P, got a little bit of buffs there, which is good. I think that's kind of like a weird weapon because it kind of feels like it wants to be a Lockman sub, but also shoots as fast as like a PDSW. So it's like, but like not as fast as a Fennec. So it's like kind of like a questionable weapon there. Hopefully that's going to put it more into the mix. I always felt like it fired and felt really good to use. So, hopefully that ends up being something that's a little bit more meta. The PDSW, the P90, did get a little bit of a buff to its ADS iron sights visibility. That's interesting. I do like that gun a lot lately because its movement speed is so good, guys, and it's really easy to outmaneuver people with it. The VEL 46 got even more buffs. That's been getting slowly buffed, and I think that's going to become, in my opinion, probably super meta once people find out the perfect build for it. And we got the Lockman sub here, nerfs, not surprised. The Nebula barrel, I'm going to have to look into that. I'm not too familiar with that barrel. I was not using it. But, it did get nerfs to its movement speed and its ADS speed, which was pretty much the reason why people were using it. I thought that the recoil was pretty easy to control on it, so the fact that they're improving the recoil control is strange to me. They're making it a little bit more like a beamer, but less of a aggressive gun, which is okay, I'm thinking maybe... the PDSW or the VL might jump into the area where the Lockman sub was prior to the update and take that spot of the Lockman, but we'll have to see. Shotgun, yay, everyone's favorite. It got nerfed. Thank God. This was giving me throwbacks to Dragon's Breath R90 from Verdansk. If you guys know that meta sucked. All right, I don't care what anybody says. The Kilo was good, but that R9 shotgun, not good. Bryson, interesting, I've been killed by it a few times off ground loop, but I don't think it's super good personally, so I don't really care about that change. And then we have a lot of attachment changes, which is pretty interesting here. Flinch has been changed globally, and recentering speed has been reduced for flinch, and then increase the flinch on guns. So they're trying to make flinch a little bit more presentable in the game. I don't know if presentable is the right word, but a little bit more apparent in the game. So you will feel your flinch now, guys, which means getting off your first shot's even more important. I've said this before in my other videos that I don't think speccing into flinch control with your scope is worth it over ADS speed because the TTK is still, unfortunately, too fast. So when it comes down to it, you really just want to get the first shot off anyway, and then if the other enemy is getting more flinched, well, it's kind of in your benefit, So this is going to really benefit people that are getting the first shot off. And unfortunately, it's probably going to make Reddit mad, LOL on that note, because people are going to say, skill gap is gone, get good. But in reality, flinch has always been a problem. You know, I think it's fine. I don't think they had to make it even worse, but it is what it is. Ammunition, we got some pretty interesting changes here. Hollow point rounds got its bullet velocity removed. Frangible rounds got its healing delay timer changed and its damage range penalty removed. This one's pretty interesting here, guys. Damage range penalty removed in the frangible rounds. I've always wondered how good these truly are. Not a lot of people use them. I've used them like once or twice. But I feel like the benefits to what they do could be really useful in, you know, like a AoE sort of situation where you're fighting multiple people and you really want to just like kind of like, you know, weaken them all essentially. So your team comes in, you know, kind of like almost like a support build for COD, right? So without the damage range penalty on there, that's actually pretty good. So, you know, you're going to be able to retain your gun's damage range, which is nice. And on SMGs, you don't really need, you know, like velocity. So that could be pretty cool. And then overpressure rounds, you know, that one's super good, you know, slowing people down and stuff like that. You got removed recoil penalty on that, amazing, and increased flinch. So, you know, if you have increased flinch on here, and then this is also on here, you know, using overpressure rounds may be, you know, really broken in terms of locking somebody out of being capable of fighting you because they have so much flinch. They're just, whoa, going all over the world. So maybe overpressure rounds / PDSW Fennec sort of VL46 build. Underbarrel launchers, you know, I don't really think that applies to really any builds personally. Nobody's using these things, so we're just going to skip that. Stocks, reduced flinch received in no stock modifications. So that's interesting. That's actually a buff for no stock mods. So, you know, minor increase overall, but a buff to the stock, so you get less flinch off of the no stock, which is fine. You know, no stock makes you move faster, gives you faster ADS, gives you faster sprint to fire speed. So, I feel like flinch personally is okay to be on that, but, you know, good for them for changing that. Biopods, this is interesting. They, you know, they fixed some stuff. They added hip recoil, but I like how they added the biopod grips to compatible LMGs and marksman rifles. I don't, sorry guys, a little tiny sick today. I don't necessarily care too much about the bipod grip, but I'm a huge fan of them adding attachments to more weapons because it just allows for more diversity in your builds. So it's cool. Do I recommend you use a bipod? Probably not. The ADS penalty is gone on it, but you know, I think it's very niche. I don't think you're gonna really, you know, make use of it compared to something else in that slot. That's just my opinion. Reduce ADS penalty in all underbarrel grips. That's awesome. Reduce movement speed penalty for all vertical grips. That's amazing. We love these changes, ladies and gentlemen. Movement speed, reducing movement speed stuff is always the best. Make the pacing better. Muzzle attachment, greatly reduce ADS penalty and added hip movement speed buff. Interesting, you know, for breachers. So I think that's going to take people away from the suppressors that we're still seeing, which, you know, we don't really necessarily need them on close quarter guns anyway. But hip movement speed buff is pretty good, especially now if we're going to throw that on something that has a hipfire build. Like, you know, even though the Lockman got nerfed, its hipfire accuracy is still so good. So is a VEL46, guys. Trust me on that. Try it. It's really good for hipfire. So that, you know, a breacher might actually be pretty cool on there for moving into a building fast and just spraying and praying with your hipfire and getting your kills. Flash hiders, yep, whatever. Optics, you know, interesting changes for the optics here. Hollow optics got their movement penalty, you know, completely removed. That's cool. And then ADS movement penalties from thermal hybrids and variable zoom optics have been reduced, and shotgun scopes have also been reduced, but I don't understand why. Does anybody use shotgun scopes in Warzone? Maybe for multiplayer, that's a good change. Reduce ADS penalty and hollow optics, cool. So, you know, all of this, you know, this is good. Like I said, pacing, you know, we love it. You know, equipment, we have frag grenades, claymore, semtexes, all got their damage increased. Fantastic. I like that. Explosives should feel like they're exploding people. Bug fixes, we're going to skip over these things. I'll let you guys read those on here. Audio UI updates. We got some new menus, though. That's kind of cool, guys. You know, I kind of like that. This right here, you know, the game will automatically restart. Thank God. It only took them 3 years to get this right. You know, I hated booting the game up and then being like, oh, before I put on my stream, I'm going to use the bathroom, coming back and being like, the game never restarted? What? So finally, it's going to, you know, be restarting on its own. I don't have to worry about sitting there and waiting and clicking it myself. Like, I have to decide to restart the game, even though I can't play without restarting it. So that's cool. Lots of bug fixes here. We're going to skip those things. You know, we got some new audio and some, you know, gyro aiming, you know, things for PC settings, but we're going to skip over that as well. We're going to skip over special ops, and then we're going to scroll down to the Warzone 2 quality of life changes, guys. This is going to be cool. We got kill streak availabilities. That's cool. So it's going to give you a timer now when the airspace is too crowded. I'm still slightly confused about why the airspace is crowded half the time. There's like no kill streaks, and I'm like, what is crowding my airspace? But thank you for giving me a countdown. Though I will note, I did play a little bit last night during the update, and there was a few times where it said airspace is crowded for 5 seconds, and then it said it was crowded for 5 seconds, and then it kept saying 5 seconds for like 15 to 20 seconds. So I don't really know how good that truly is, but we'll have to see. I like how they wrote Cluster Strike in here and not Mortar Strike. LOL, throwbacks to Verdansk Caldera, question mark. They improved the notifications. That's fantastic. I like that. You know, there's always been an issue with that in Warzone. I think there will be probably forever, but the more they improve it, the better. Give up timers, navigational pings. This is cool right here, you know, improved readability. Sometimes if you ping things too far away, they're super small, so they change the scale of those things, which is good. Armor break text has been removed. I don't really, you know, I didn't really notice that as being an issue. Auto-looting armor plates. Yes, thank God, guys. How stupid was it that you couldn't auto-loot armor plates? But you would auto-loot some weird things, I felt like sometimes. Like sometimes I'd be running around the map and I'm like, why the hell do I have all this shotgun ammo on me? I don't even have a shotgun. Or just weird stuff like that. So that's fantastic. You know, I can run around a house, a building, anything, and just pick up plates. Yay, you know, it's weird that these things aren't features initially because it kind of confuses me, but I'm really excited that they put that in the game finally. Let's hope that it works. Let's hope. Spawn protection, you know, went from 25 meters up from 19. That's cool. I think spawn protection is a little OP right now, so I think that disabling it sooner is better. That's my opinion. But they do have to walk the fine line, and you know, I do realize that they wrote this here. You know, they will refine it more as they go forward. So I feel like, you know, we need it, but we don't need it as hardcore as it is. So, you know, I'm okay with this. Let's see. I'm sure people will complain. You know, hashtag Reddit post incoming, guys. So, UI, UX, you know, we're going to skip these bug fixes, skip these playlists. You know, we have solos, duos, trios, quads for both Sheikah Island and Al Mazrah. Fantastic. I love that. Then events, we got Warzone's 3rd anniversary. We got Verdansk anniversary calling card and Verdansk emblem. Boo! Nobody cares. Actually, some people probably care. Caldera was not that bad after playing in Al Mazrah. You know, I kind of miss the jungle atmosphere. It's kind of weird. I never thought I'd say that. You know, I just do not miss the mountain in the middle. But Verdansk anniversary calling card and emblem, I'm sure we're going to see everybody rocking that because, you know, everybody loved Verdansk. And it's hitting me in the emotions, guys. The Blackout map in Verdansk, best BR maps to ever survive, to ever be, you know, and yes, they survive because people still play on the Blackout map. Verdansk, they still play on the mobile BR, but it's crap. I wouldn't recommend it. That's my opinion. Bomb drones have been removed. Not a fan of this. I think that they should put everything in the game that's, you know, that was built for the game. I feel like they should nerf them, though, appropriately. You know, if they designed it for the game and they spent time putting it in the game, why just take it away from us? That's just one less thing we have. I think personally a better change to this would be making it break all 3 plates, but not downing somebody unless they have only 1 plate on. If you're listening, Activision, consider my changes. So anyway, we're going down to gameplay here. We got pacing, balancing. You know, they want to change some stuff in the map. They want to add new crates to the northwest part of the map. They're going to be disabling final circles up in that area, which is kind of cool for me. You know, I you know, don't really remember the last time I had a circle in the complete northwest part of the map that's like to the northwest of Quarry, so I'm not too crazy about that change personally, but anything they can do to change the pacing to make it better, big fan of. Increased contract availability. Light Helo has been removed from solos. That's great. Redeployment drones in Sheikah Island. I really hope that they put them in Al Mazrah sometime soon. The desert's too big and empty, guys. Give me drones. AI combat departure, whatever. Circle balancing, you know, that's cool. 20% larger. That's on the Sheikah Island. Pacing balancing, you know, so this is really across the board on both maps. And they're going to increase the buy station availability, which, thank God, there's not enough on that map. And we ran into that issue on pretty much all of the, I remember Rebirth had that issue, and then I remember Fortune's Keep had that issue. RIP Fortune's Keep. It survived like 3 months before they took it out of the game or something, right? Like, what the heck was that about? And then bug fixes, gameplay, you know, we got some stuff here, but nothing really worth talking about in my opinion. I'm gonna skip over the bug fixes, and that's pretty much it, guys. So, you know, to wrap it up, you know, I kind of went over the guns here. What I think will be meta, stay meta, and what will be, you know, what will drop out of the meta. I'm thinking that the VEL-46 will definitely be meta. I'm thinking the BAS-P might move up into one of those guns you're seeing more often. The PDSW may become a meta gun because its movement speed is already really high, and now we have better visibility on it, and I'm seeing it more and more. I think the shotgun is going to fall out of the meta, and I think that the snake shot single magnum will become the new shotgun, because we're already seeing, you know, a lot of people using it on streams, and a lot of, you know, our top competing players. I've tried it. It's crazy. It's a 2-shot. Within like 10 meters, it's broken. So I'm thinking the shotgun's going to get replaced with that completely, which is okay. It's balanced because the magnum doesn't have the same range as the shotgun, so I'm okay with that. I think the Seiken will still be meta. I think the RPK, hopefully I won't see it at all anymore, even though I don't care if I see it. Guys, stop using the RPK. Just stop. I think the RAL will still be meta, but not used as often. I feel like the far range penalty, if it's truly good, will make the gun not feel as great because it's already slow and kind of miserable to use. You know, I released my wrap video, and I feel like the wrap is going to sneak its way up into that meta-ish area, especially on Ashika Island. I think it already is meta. You know, I think that the Yasuo Hemlock is still going to be meta, guys. The TAC-56, still meta, guys. SMGs, the Lockman might still be used a little bit, but I think it's really going to be a tie between, like I said, that PDSW, that VL-46, that Fennec is still going to be used. It's still good. Maybe the BAS-P. The MX-9 is questionable. We got to test it out mid-range. Close range, it wasn't that good, so I don't think that's going to be anywhere. But, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of Hemlocks, a lot of TACs now. And, you know, maybe even the Icarus 556 might sneak in there somewhere. Stay tuned for that. I might be dropping a video on that because I tried it and it's really good. Really good. Yeah, guys, so that's about it. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, you know, like the video. And if you like what I'm doing, subscribe. Thank you. Xcision TV on Twitch and Xcision Official on Twitter is my social medias. Please follow me on there. I will be breaking down patch notes all the time in the future and releasing some videos on my builds. And eventually, I think I'm going to be releasing some videos on how to get good in COD. Anyway, guys, as always, take it easy. Peace out.